Yo, what's up? And welcome to the Real DDP blog. Today it is March 3rd and it's Wednesday. And Wednesday means it's Wrestling Wednesdays. That's right. Lately I've shown you a couple clips. I've shown you some DDP tributes that certain kids have done for me and done on YouTube. And then I grabbed a couple clips out of different things that happened in my career. And the last one was Macho Man, and where I was whipping him with the cane. Actually, when I hit Virgil, it started to send that piece out into the crowd. And as I was watching that, I was thinking, man, that was such a great feud. And I started thinking, that interview was pretty damn good. So I went back and watched that. And then I started thinking of all the different amazing interviews and, bits that we had and great action sequences that we had. So I decided to make this whole month. Now, if I'm going to do this, let me do this right. Where's the glass to there? Okay. I'm decided to make this whole month. It's March. Macho Man Madness Month. Ooh, can you feel it? Ooh, brother. Dig it. Yeah. So, he sounded like Randy was taking a shit or something, didn't it? He'd be digging down deep into it. Oops, lost my glasses there. But what a great, phenomenal worker. His whole career, he was just amazing. He was on top for over 20 years, and ain't many guys that can say that. And he was an intense pleasure to work with. And you just didn't say, I'd like to work a program with Savage. Savage said, I want to work a program with you if he wanted to. And I was fortunate enough to have been in a spot that he'd been watching my career develop. And when the whole thing really hit with the NWO, he actually said he wanted to work with me, which was a huge honor. But the only reason that I'm in that spot, let me digress to where Kevin Nash and Scott Hall took the diamond cutter, and I got to take off into the crowd because that's what catapulted me. So I can't see starting the Macho Man feud without bringing up about the recruiting or the try to recruit Diamond Dallas Page in the NWO. So let's just go back to that moment in time where I was technically like a mid-card guy. But I had real relationships with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, like real relationships. Scotty, I had helped him come into WCW when he needed a job. His wife was pregnant. Helped him create his gimmick, which at that time was a Diamond Stud, which later pretty much would just become Razor Ramon and went eventually back to being Scott Hall. So it all worked in a circle for him. And Kevin Nash and I tag teamed together. Matter of fact, Scott Hall was the first person I ever tagged with. First match I ever had was with Scott Hall in WCW. Later would tag up with Kevin Nash. We were in the Vegas connection at the time, and there was a point in time where Kev was going to quit, and I was like, dude, don't let them beat you, man. Don't let them run you off, man. You are going to be huge in this business. And, I just threw that shot of inspiration in making Kev believe what he already knew, but he wasn't sure of at the time. And he decided to stay. And next thing you know, he was Shawn Michaels' manager. Next thing he's the world champ. So, history would be proven right from then on that Kevin Nash was a monster top guy. So I had relationships with both of those cats, real strong ones. And so when they came into WCW, since I had the real relationship, I was really campaigning when they were going to go, who's the third guy? And Eric Bischoff and I were really tight at the time. And I was like, you got to let me be that third guy. I'm the natural choice. He goes, He goes, I don't know about that. He goes, and your name's not big enough. And he was right. And, I was letting my own ego get in the way, but really Hulk was the guy it had to be. And it was huge. So once it got to like the fourth guy or fifth guy, I came up with an idea of the NWO, Hall and Nash, coming to me because of our relationship and asking me to be in. But me being like, hey, you know what? Fuck you. You know what? I'm like number 5. And you're going to bring me in? It actually didn't happen till like I was like number 8 because it got drug on so much. But I basically said, you guys ask me, Kev. And then, I say no. And he's just being dally, That's your whole attitude because you guys are too cool for school anyway. And they were and still are. But eventually I'd put the shirt on and, we'd do the embrace and then I'd bang them and take off through the crowd. And I told Kev the idea. He's the first one I brought it to because you got to be political whenever you're trying to campaign an idea behind the scenes. And because you got to make sure the top guys who are above you, they want to do you the favor. And Kevin was like, I love it. Go tell Eric. And I was like, dude, I can't tell Eric. I got to run it by Scott first. He's like, Dally, Scott remembers what you did for him, man. He wants to help you. Just go tell Eric. It's cool. I go, no way, man. You're not taking a diamond cutter. You go over the top rope. He goes, no, I'll take the diamond cutter. I go, dude, Bischoff will never let you take the cutter. If you like Scott taking it, it'd be a miracle. And I said, let me go talk to Scott. So I went and talked to Scott, and he's like, dude, I love it. I said, so, do you want to tell Eric? He goes, I think we all should. So after the show was over, we all went to the bar, and the four of us sat there and talked about the idea. And Eric was like, cool, I'm down with it. Let's do it. I was blown away that this was actually going to happen. But the reality was, it wasn't going to happen just yet. Because the first time it was put on TV, that was the time Piper was coming in. I will never forget it in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm so psyched. This is a big, big, big moment for me, man. This is what's going to, never thinking I'm going to work with Savage at that time or anything. I'm just thinking, I want to get to that Rick Rude spot where when Rick Rude came out, you didn't know whether he was going to win or lose. You didn't know if he was going to lose, but you didn't know if he was going to win either. So, that's all I ever wanted. That I never dreamed of being like the main event guy. I just wanted to be like when Rick was building his way up, not the Rick at the end who was, the man. I was just trying to get to that spot where when he worked with Jake, you didn't know what was going to happen when he walked out there. And what happened that night in Charlotte was they told me that Piper was coming in that night with the bagpipes, and your angle will get lost. And I was like, okay, no problem. We'll do it next week. Well, next week turned into next week, turned into next week, turned into like 10 weeks later. And when it finally happened, it was in New Orleans. So the first video under me, I chose it because it was a fun interview for me, and I got to do it with Mean Gene. And Mean Gene was the best. I loved it. It was like a dream come true when I finally started getting to work interviews with the Mean Gene one. It was amazing. So I put that there because he talks about the NWO recruiting me. The next video under that is in New Orleans in front of 33,000 people, and that's where it finally went down. And we did it at the Superdome. And just to know, the Superdome is so huge that you had to take golf carts to get from one section to another. So on my way to my match on my golf cart, the guys who were driving me got the head cans on, and they're like, Diamond, instead of 12 minutes, you got 10 minutes. I'm like, okay. I get there, start stretching out. You got 8 minutes, Diamond. I'm like, okay. They're fucking me, but okay. I can do it in 8. Then I get up to my spot, and they go, you got 6 minutes. I'm like, 6 minutes? Now I'm looking for Kevin and Scott. And I'm like, where the fuck are they? Because now I'm really getting pissed. Mark Starr goes out for the match. Terry Taylor is the guy who's at the gate right there. Good buddy of mine. And he says, Diamond, 4 minutes. We're really running short on time. I go, 4 minutes? Now I'm like fucking psycho, right? And I look over and here comes Kevin. I go, Kev, they said I got 4 fucking minutes, man. 4 minutes. He goes, Dally, what do you always tell me in moments like this? I go, I don't know. What the fuck do I tell you? He goes, breathe. He goes, breathe. He goes, it's going to take us 4 minutes just to get to the ring, brother. Go out there. This is your moment, man. Own it. He goes, have fun. He goes, beat that guy out there. Boom. We'll see you out there. My music hit. I went. We did it. That's the second angle. And I pop up out of that, off of that cover, and their music hits. The crowd was so hot. And when we did the deal, man, it was just boom. The roof blew off. And I took off through the crowd, and behind the scenes there is, it's so big in the Superdome, I got lost up there. I had to find my way back down, and oh my God, it was such a great moment. And after that, the next footage you'll see under that is where they come out with the pipes like they're going to get retribution, and here comes Savage from behind, and we're off and running. So that's the ticket, brother. Yeah. So check it out. Tell me what you think. And this might last more than just March. It just might go right into April. So that's all I got for you today. I'm running a little long anyway. I'm going to leave you with this last quote. And that was definitely my thought running through my career. Failure was not an option. Don't make it an option for you. See ya. Bang!